Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. Have you ever reached a point where someone has lied so many times, manipulated so many people, and caused so much chaos, that even when they might be telling the truth, nobody believes them anymore? Because that's exactly where Jodie Ramsey finds herself tonight. And what starts with a missing card could end with the complete destruction of the Platt family. But here's the question that's tearing Coronation Street fans apart. Is Jodie really guilty this time? Or has she become the perfect scapegoat for every disaster in Weatherfield? Because the deeper you look into this story, the more unsettling it becomes. And trust me, what happens next could change everything. Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. Tonight we're diving deep into the latest explosive chapter of the Jodie Ramsey saga. A story built on betrayal, resentment, manipulation, and years of emotional wounds that may never fully heal. Ever since Jodie arrived in Weatherfield earlier this year, she has been surrounded by suspicion. At first, viewers weren't quite sure what to make of her. She appeared vulnerable, lost, a woman desperately searching for family. But that image didn't last long. Because underneath the surface, something darker was waiting. The shocking revelation that Jodie was secretly stealing belongings from her neighbors immediately raised alarm bells. Then came her disturbing obsession with Shona's life. And things only became more troubling from there. She tried to seduce David, her own brother-in-law. She manipulated situations, created conflict, and repeatedly pushed boundaries that should never have been crossed. Every step she took seemed to bring more destruction. But then everything changes. Because despite everything she's done, this latest accusation may not be as straightforward as it seems. The drama begins when David and Shona prepare for what should be a beautiful family moment. Their daughter Harper has been fighting since the day she was born. Every milestone matters. Every memory matters. Every photograph matters. For parents living through such a difficult journey, these moments become priceless. Which is why the disappearance of Harper's 5-month milestone card feels so devastating. Without it, their carefully planned hospital photo shoot falls apart. The disappointment is immediate. The frustration is overwhelming. And emotions quickly boil over. Shona is heartbroken. David is furious. And suddenly the fragile piece inside number 8 starts to crack. But then David makes a decision that could ignite an entirely new war. He points the finger directly at Jodie. No hesitation. No doubt. No second thoughts. As far as David is concerned, Jodie is responsible. And honestly, can anyone really blame him for thinking that? After everything she's done? After months of manipulation? After all the lies? It almost feels like the obvious conclusion. But that may not be the whole truth. Because here's where things become incredibly interesting. What if Jodie didn't take the card? What if this time she's actually innocent? Think about the psychological position she's trapped in. Jodie has spent months creating chaos. Months destroying trust. Months proving she cannot be relied upon. Now she's reached the point where her reputation enters the room before she does. People expect the worst from her. And once that happens, the truth almost stops mattering. Every missing item. Every argument. Every misunderstanding. Every problem. Automatically becomes Jodie's fault. It's a terrifying position to be in. And one she may have created herself. But it's still terrifying. Because if she's innocent, then someone else is being overlooked. And that's where things take a darker turn. Let's talk about David. Because his reaction isn't just about a missing card. Not really. This anger has been building for weeks. Maybe even months. Ever since Jodie returned to live under his roof, David has been forced to relive one deeply uncomfortable memory after another. He hasn't forgotten the night she tricked him. He hasn't forgotten the manipulation. And he certainly hasn't forgotten how close she came to destroying his marriage. Every day Jodie remains in that house is another reminder of everything that happened. The trust is gone. The patience is gone. And now all it takes is one missing card to set him off. Psychologically, David isn't just reacting to this incident. He's reacting to every incident. Every lie. Every betrayal. Every warning sign he ignored. The missing card may simply be the final straw. Meanwhile, Shona finds herself trapped in an impossible situation. On one side stands her husband. On the other stands her long-lost sister. A sister she spent years separated from. A sister carrying enormous emotional scars. A sister who desperately wants the life Shona has built. And that's perhaps the most chilling aspect of this entire storyline. Because Jodie's actions have never really been about money, or power, or revenge alone. They've always seemed connected to something much deeper. Envy, loss, longing. She doesn't simply want attention. She wants belonging. She wants the family she believes was stolen from her. And when someone becomes obsessed with a life they never had, the consequences can be devastating. But what happens next is heartbreaking. Because whether Jodie stole the card or not, the damage is already done. Trust inside the Platt household is collapsing. Relationships are becoming strained. Accusations are flying. And the emotional wounds are growing deeper by the day. The biggest question isn't whether Jodie took the card. The biggest question is whether this family can survive living together much longer. Because every storyline involving Jodie seems to end the same way. With another relationship damaged. Another secret exposed. Another person left hurt. And if this pattern continues, a major explosion feels inevitable. Now here's my prediction. I don't think this story is really about a missing milestone card. I think it's about the final breakdown of the Platt family dynamic. The writers are steadily increasing the pressure. Every argument, every accusation, every act of manipulation. They're all pushing us toward a much bigger confrontation. And when that confrontation finally arrives, someone's life could be changed forever. Could Jodie finally be exposed for everything she's done? Could Shona be forced to choose between her husband and her sister? Or could the biggest twist of all be that Jodie is innocent this time? Because in Soapland, the moment everyone agrees on the obvious answer, that's usually when the biggest shock arrives. And right now, nothing about Jodie Ramsey feels predictable. Not anymore. One thing is certain. The clock is ticking. The tension is rising. And Weatherfield may be heading toward one of its most emotionally explosive family showdowns yet. We'll be watching every twist, every secret, and every betrayal as this story unfolds. Because this drama is far from over.